It's YouTube Wednesday. Like every project starts the trip to Home Depot. This project is very much, I have to kind of poke around a little bit to see what I need, but everything that I ended up using ends up on a diagram that I'm going to show you in a little bit. So this is the glue gun that we're going to use. This is the Sure Bonder 300 watt glue gun. I got 1/4 inch airline. I got a adapter, which is a 1/4 inch to 1/4 inch. And one's a compression fitting for the copper line to go into a 1/4 inch valve. And then I also got this guy, which is the male connection for the air hose. Most important part is the glue gun. Don't buy cheap glue guns. So many people buy cheap glue guns and their life is hard. And it doesn't have to be hard. It can be easy if they buy a nice glue gun. I am carefully measuring out the hose. I'm leaving myself a little bit of extra length. I'm using a tubing cutter. You don't want to mangle the copper tubing because that's going to affect how air flows through it. It's also going to affect how easy it is to connect with that compression fitting. If you try and cut that with shears and then round it back out, you're going to have a hard time getting that compression fitting to work. You ream the end of the hole. Just makes that a little bit cleaner. Sometimes the tubing cutter can pinch a little bit. That piece is extra. Here you can see that diagram. Pause that when you need to look at it. And here I'm fitting in that compression fitting. And those are a little weird. You put one piece on, you butt it into the end, and then you tighten it up. And that flares out the end of that copper pipe to make a seal and to really hold that well in place. I suggest you use wrenches, not pliers, because brass is pretty easy to mar and knock the corners off of. So as you can see here, I'm definitely not using pliers. I am using wrenches. Despite you seeing me use 2 sets of pliers. Brass is soft, baby it. And this was probably the hardest part of the build, just tightening up this compression fitting. It's a little bit fiddly. Normally it's, one end is attached to a pipe and it's kind of held in place while you're working on it. Loose and free, it's actually a little bit harder to do. You saw me do the old righty-tighty, lefty-loosey check. Make sure I was tightening it up. I think vice grips are one of my favorite inventions. Again, you can see how all the pieces go together with that. Just tightening these bolts up. You want that snug. It is possible to make it so tight that you crack the copper pipe, so be aware of that. In which case you just take it off and you start again. Use Teflon tape on all your fittings because you want to control that air leak and make sure that no air leaks out. What I like about doing it outside of the gun instead of running it through is you can still use the glue gun, just snap the zip ties. Save that piece. Yeah, your little air hose extender could live off the glue gun, and then you just put it on when you need to. you haven't tried to make fart noises with air coming out of it, it worked, and you haven't tested your air fittings. And I'm just bending this tubing to go along this outside wire. You don't want to put a harsh 90-degree bend in it. You want curves that are not going to kink and cause a tear in the copper pipe. And I zip tied the heck out of it, and then I got it. Once I know exactly the length I need, I used a tubing cutter again. Use the tubing cutter. You want that clean cut as opposed to a, cutting it with shears or something. Now that end you actually can flatten out. So once this is bent, it's pretty easy to just keep in a drawer. When you want to convert your high dollar glue gun into a web gun, you can. This is the way you should buy glue sticks for this, because it's going to eat them like they are delicious candy. Buy the Uline glue sticks, and these are the economy glue sticks. They're white, and they actually pop a little bit in black light. And they're nice and long, so you have to reload less often. I can go finer than this, but I really like to build it up. I use this for thick webbing. I want them to be seen. I want to be able to light through them. You can do these over frames and then stretch them over sets. And because you have a good glue gun, you can just machine gun feed this. Less air and light trigger pulls are going to give you finer and finer webs. It's semi-automatic web gun. I should stop, but I'm just going to do this for the next 45 minutes. Go make stuff. All right, it's time for a Patreon shout out. These are the people who help us keep the shop stocked with toilet paper and all kinds of other awesome things that we need to keep making monsters and making video content like this video today. I want to thank Nassan Renegar, Annette Colette, and Cynthia Trunick. Thank you guys very much for supporting Patreon. We appreciate you. And I want to say one more shout out for Jennifer. Pew, pew, pew!